guess a couple weeks now in the preseason practices and stuff. What's the progress been with the pack line and how you guys are learning it?
Well, I think until we continually get challenged by an opponent in all different ways. I mean, you play against yourselves every day in practice, so you're seeing a lot of the offensive looks that you present. Certainly, the same types of players day after day after day. You know, BJ's been guarding Dwayne Sutton or Jordan Wara for about 6.5 months. So I think there's been progress, but you know, taking inventory after every game is really helpful for our team, and we want to continue to see growth game after game.
Any other questions?
What will show you growth in Saturday night? What can they do to show you that they have improved and grown since the last time?
Well, I think gave up about 4 1-on-0 layups. Not necessarily because it was a point-to-wing entry pass that was stolen, but you know, our defenders should have been back. It was more of a traditional rebound. Heck, you saw on a missed free throw by us, they actually got a 1-on-0 layup at the other end. That's almost impossible unless you're trying. So there were some plays that were made by Bellarmine that our defense can't give up. Just can't give up. We have to make anybody we play earn it in the half court. And there were about 3 or 4 baskets that you know, our missed assignments, our lack of communication and transition led to easy baskets for the opponent. So that's one area. I think a second area is throughout the course of the possession, being able to be a team that maintains our ability to stay in the right position defensively, rather than letting fatigue take over or daydreaming off the ball take over, and that happened on several occasions. So continuing to see improvement just in those 2 areas. But I mean, really everywhere, but those were 2 glaring areas of concern from last game.
What about the way that Simmons College plays is going to be challenging for you guys in particular?
Well, we don't see it every day. You know, we're going to see a team that is going to try to pressure us. It's going to rattle ball handlers. It's going to pick up full court. It's going to trap the post. Be very unpredictable. And so, you know, with that, we have to be a team that's strong with the ball, that makes the right decision. And it'll be the first time that we've really faced, you know, pressure like that. So it'll be good to see how we handle it or we don't handle it, and again, learn from it. But that's what's coming tomorrow.
Despite him scoring, I think it was 19 points against Bellarmine, you said you wanted to see more from VJ. Has he responded that way as you guys studied film and this week in practice in preparation for this?
He still has to get tougher with the ball. He has to make better decisions against Bellarmine. He went back-to-back possessions, turning the ball over. So for the first 35 minutes or so, you know, he had played with 1 turnover. And then to go, you know, really a double-digit game at that point, 3 straight possessions to turn the ball over, that can't happen. That can't happen by anybody. So I'd like to see him be stronger with the ball. So again, he's done well in practice at times, and other times he's been what you saw on Sunday last week. So we have to get growth in that area, not only from BJ but everybody.
How much does your conditioning in the preseason and the off-season play into the style of play that you want, or is it entirely tailored just to that?
Not sure I understand your question.
So, you know, obviously, some coaches who press more might do more with conditioning. Some coaches who want to be big and physical and defensive rebounding oriented might be bulkier kids. How do you kind of tailor what you guys do to how you play?
It's a good question. I worry about us getting better as the season progresses. You know, I don't get all excited if we're able to press for 40 minutes on day 1 of practice. It's a long season. You know, there's so many teams that start out with great intentions and, you know, we are family, and everybody loves each other, and then 3 months in, players quit, guys are transferring, there's no togetherness. And so, in a roundabout way of answering your question, I worry about the entirety of our season and getting better as the year goes on. So I'm not really concerned with being in the best shape of our life day one of practice. I want our guys to continually get in better shape as the year progresses. We shorten our practices so that our guys come to the gym excited to practice and get better, in hopes that we can play our best basketball when the season matters the most.
Last weekend you talked about Stevens.
Microphone, please. Sorry. Thank you.
Last season you talked about Stevens' versatility, or last weekend about his versatility, and what he was able to do all over the court. How do you want him to improve heading into this weekend?
I just think that he can be a better rebounder. I mean, Steve he's very, very talented, and he has progressed a ton since April. And I want to see that daily improvement from him. So there's nothing that we're going to prevent him from doing. He just has to be able to do it at a high level. My biggest thing for Steven is playing with a high motor, playing with energy, not having a lull in how hard he plays. And that's, if we get that from Steven, that'll be really good for our team.
Did you watch any film of him when he was at UConn, or did you just kind of study him from the red white scrimmages and the workouts that you guys had when you got here?
A little bit. I mean, we looked into recruiting Steven when he transferred. And Coach Murray had a little bit of an in, but it didn't go much further than watching a few game tapes. Obviously he played limited minutes at UConn in a stacked front line or front court. But we've learned a lot about Steven over the 6 or 7 months that our staff's been here. And when he slows down on the offensive end and he's patient, he can be difficult to handle. I think he's really learning how to use his body and gain position and maintain position, which is important. And defensively, he just has to be very active, very alert, and again, play with a high motor on both ends.
On media day, a couple of guys said that you weren't really pushing too much from them to learn your stuff too quickly, that you were kind of piecemealing it here and there as they grew. How far along would you say you are, as far as installing all of the Chris Mack offense and defense?
Defensively, probably 75 to 80%. And that last 25% or so is really based on some of the different things that we'll see throughout the year. It involves scouting, different actions that we don't necessarily run as a team that may be important to other teams. Offensively, we've got a lot to put in still, but that's no different from any year that I've coached. We don't hand our players a playbook and know it by game one. And as the season progresses, if I feel like there are certain things that we can take advantage of from a personnel standpoint, then we'll have something that maybe we haven't had in the past. So that offensive playbook's ever evolving, depending on personnel. But we probably have a lot more to put in offensively than defensively.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.